Welcome to the APG podcast. I'm Giuseppe, your host, and this is
Allana.
And she wants to tell us about her life and shit like that. So yeah.
I was born here. Obviously I didn't have a really good start to my life. My birth mom was heavily addicted to drugs. Both of my grandparents were alcoholics, and it was just a bad situation. The earliest memory that I have of like living in that situation was like I remember my birth mom, she like showed up to the house really drunk, and my grandparents' house, because I was living with my my grandparents at the time. I think I was like maybe 2, and all I remember were like these police helicopters going around the house because they were trying to look for her because she was on the run for stealing a car. And all I can remember were the lights and the helicopters, and I was just really scared. And then since then I've just been always kind of scared of the cops and stuff like that. And then I think when I was like 2.5, I got taken away by CPS, and then I eventually was in the foster care system. And my mom that I'm with now, she fostered me for about a year, and then I think when I was 4, I finally finalized my adoption. And it was bad because up to those days we had to do court dates with my mom, and she wouldn't ever show up to those court dates. And I didn't learn about this till I was older, but my mom, she told me that on the way to one of the court dates, my birth mom had gotten stabbed because she robbed some guy. And I just felt like I was never wanted. Like I was not needed in anybody's life. And that was from an early age, like 3, 4. I always just felt like I was a burden to everybody, and that I was just kind of abandoned. I have an older brother too, and he has like learning disabilities, and he has like just like I think he has autism. I don't know, but I remember like my grandparents telling me that they had to give me up for adoption because they had to take care of my older brother, and that I was too much, or no, that he was too much to take care of, so they couldn't take care of me. So, I mean, that would kind of suck to hear. And then my grandparents, when I was like 7, I think, they started writing letters to me, and they would send them to my elementary school, because my mom worked there, and she would get them, and then she would kind of just like not let me read them. But then I think when I turned 12, I finally read some of the letters that they had sent me, and I think like I just bawled my eyes out because I had no idea what was really going on, and I never got to hear like the full story to anything. But yeah, it kind of sucked just having those abandonment issues, like and never feeling wanted. And then when I came into my family that I'm in now, like I just always felt like the black sheep of the family because like everybody had their own thing and stuff, and I was just kind of there, I guess, and I just never felt like accepted until I was older. But I mean, elementary school was kind of hard because people eventually found out that I was adopted and stuff, and I would get like made fun of for it. And I would like, people would tell me that I was like unwanted, like your mom didn't want you. And it would just hurt to hear that, when you're younger. Like it sucks to hear that. In middle school, I started like smoking weed. I think when I was like 13, I went to this girl's house. Me and my other friend, we went to this girl's house to have a sleepover, and she took some of her mom's weed, and we kind of just smoked it. It was kind of a bad experience, but I promised myself, like I'll never do it again. It was like a one-time thing. But then I started smoking weed even more and more, and eventually it got to be a lot. I had a mental breakdown in, I think, the 7th grade, and I ended up going to the hospital because I had ran away and I had literally smashed my mom's phone with a hammer because I was so I had just reached my limit, and I smashed my mom's phone with a hammer so she couldn't track me when I ran away. Yeah, it was bad. I just was on the run for like a couple days, just going to friends' house and stuff. And then I would make my friends lie to my mom and say that I wasn't there. And then eventually my mom found out where I was, and she sent the cops to the mall to come and find me because I was there with my friends trying to hide out, which was not smart because you don't hide at a mall. And they found me and they escorted me out, and then I was in the back of a cop car, and then they drove me back to my house, and my mom was super pissed at me, and it was bad because I would lie to her about everything, like everything. And then high school came. 8th grade was pretty bad. That's when I started doing pills and stuff. I started doing Xanax and like a lot of Molly and a bunch of psychedelics. I tried Adderall and stuff. And then 9th grade came, and that's when I found meth. And I started smoking a lot of it. I'd be up for days. I wouldn't get any schoolwork done because I was so paranoid. I'd be picking at my face constantly in school because I had so much anxiety and I was so drugged up at the same time. I would think people were following me. I would just be really scared all the time. But I was also, like, at the same time, I was really mad at everybody. And I don't know for what reason. I just thought everybody was against me. I started lying to my mom about where I was getting money from. I would go in her wallet when she would fall asleep, and I would steal probably like $40 at a time of cash. And then the next day she would ask me like, "Oh, what happened to my money?" I would say like, "Oh, I don't know." And then one time I did get caught, and I would say, "Oh, I needed money for a yearbook or whatever," when I was really just using that money to buy drugs. And I remember me and my friends, we went to the mall, and we found this cart in the bathroom stall at the mall. It was just sitting there. It was full. It didn't even look like it had been touched. And I was already like super high on like Xanax, so I was kind of out of it. And my friends convinced me that if I hit it and nothing happened to me, then it's fine, we can keep it. But if I hit it and something happens, then just leave it, whatever. So we took it home. I didn't hit it at all. And then I was like pretending that I had went into the bathroom and hit it, but I really didn't. I just hid it underneath my sink. And then when they all left, I had hit it while I was high on Xanax. And it was like really weird. Like this high felt really weird. Like I remember just like shaking uncontrollably. I was super hot and cold at the same time. I was kind of like foaming at the mouth a little bit, but like I didn't know what was going on. I just thought like it was a bad high or whatever. And I had like stripped all my clothes because I literally thought I was like dying. And I was laying in my room. I saw people like in the walls. My room was completely dark. I saw like rainbow spirals in the air. It was so weird. And then I think I just fell asleep after like 2 hours. of just all that shit happening. And then I was like, okay, that was the worst fucking high I've ever had in my life. Then a couple days later, so I had kept that in my room, just hidden, because I was like, nah, no way, I'm never hitting that shit again. A couple days later, I was kind of missing that high, and I was kind of thinking about it, and I was like, oh my god, that was like literally the best high I've ever had. I was like, I felt like I was floating in the air. And then, I would ditch all my classes. I would steal money from people. I would run away. I would self-harm a lot. In many different ways. Like, I remember telling my cousin, I'm like, oh yeah, I just pierced myself. I just gave myself 3 piercings. She's like, that's a way of self-harm. And I was like, oh shit, really? So I was just like cutting myself and doing a bunch of shit that like I had no point in doing. I was just really messed up on drugs. Like, drugs have controlled my mind at that point. And I remember I went to my friend London's house one night, and her ex-boyfriend had came over, and he was like, hey, do you guys want to get bottles from a plug? And I was like, yeah, sure, that sounds fun. So we got this big ass bottle of Fireball. It was like one of those glass bottles with the handle. And then we also got 2 bottles of Pink Whitney, big ones. And then my friend London and I, she had like half a bottle of Pink Whitney, and then I had a full bottle of other Pink Whitney, and then I also had 6 shots of the Fireball. So I was literally like out of it. I was like, and then I was like, oh, London, I have to go to the bathroom. Like, I need to take a bath right now. I need to like get sober. I can't go home like this. So eventually I texted my mom, and I was like, the text didn't even look right. I was like, Mom, can I go spend the night at London's house or something like that? And she was like, yeah, sure, just make sure you walk home in the morning, because she lives like literally like 5 minutes away from me. Like, you go outside my gate, she lives up that street. So I would just walk to her house whenever. And I was really drunk. I was kind of in the corner just like singing to myself. It was really weird. And then so I told London, oh my god, I need to go take a bath right now. She's like, okay, I'll go get you a towel. So I'm fully clothed in the bath, the water's running, and then all of a sudden I start throwing up all over myself. My head's spinning in a circle. I keep throwing up all over myself, just throw up on the clothes, throw up in the water, and then London comes back, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna get you out. Mind you, she's really drunk too. And I'm standing up, and everything feels like it's spinning. Like, I'm hitting the wall super hard. I'm telling London to punch me because I can't feel anything. I said, London, punch me really hard in the face. And then, yeah, and then it was just really bad. And then the next morning, her parents had found out, and they took me to the hospital because I was still really drunk, and they were like, oh, she has alcohol poisoning. And I was like, oh, fuck. And, so I called my cousin who lives in New York, and I had sent her, I was so stupid. I literally took a video, or London took a video of me throwing up all over myself in the bathtub, and she had posted on her story on Instagram or whatever. And then my cousin found it, and she sent it to my mom, and my mom hadn't texted me at all, which was really weird. But I talked to my cousin, she's like, just let you know I told your mom. She's like, that's like not normal to get that drunk, Allana. Like, I hope you know that. Like, you're literally 14 and you're getting that drunk. And I was like, okay, whatever. So then my mom texted me, and she was like, tell Lyndon's parents to drop you off at home and to let them know that you're never going back to their house ever again. And she's like, also, since you're going to be sleeping all day because you're hungover, she was like, make sure you clear out all your shit by tomorrow. So I was like, bro, I'm so drunk right now. Like, I'm so hungover. I'm like, how am I supposed to clean up everything in my room, get it packed, and then find a place to stay? And she said, that's something for you to figure out. And I was like, okay. And then, long story short, I didn't get kicked out. My mom let me stay. because during my addiction, she was always kind of a sucker. Like, she never stuck to her word. She would always be like, oh, yeah, no, you can stay. No, it's fine. Like, she was always like, she knew like something was wrong, but she couldn't pinpoint what was wrong because she never knew that I was doing drugs. She just thought, like it was my mental health because I've always had pretty bad mental health. Um, Middle school, I had one suicide attempt. Obviously, it didn't work. And then in ninth grade, I had also had another suicide attempt, and I got sent to the hospital, and every single day I would call my mom, Mom, I'm fine, Mom, I'm fine, tell them to discharge me, Mom, when are you coming? And I would beg to go home. And then a year later, another suicide attempt, and I had no idea why I was so sad and why I was so anxious all the time. And I convinced myself, no, it's not the drugs and my medication mixing up to make me so depressed. Like, that's not it. And my mom, I did volleyball for a while. So I was at a volleyball game and my mom had texted my aunt to go to my room and search it, like go through it and find everything. So she did. She found a Ziploc baggie full of crushed Xanax. I don't know why I did that. She found one of my friend's mom's bottles of Adderall. She found 2 empty bottles. She found that pen, that the cart that I had found in the mall bathroom, a bunch of other carts. She had found just like a bunch of random pills. And then she found my pipe. And then she found the meth. And she texted my mom. She sent her pictures. I saw the pictures and I was still like, oh fuck, like I'm caught, dude. And my mom, on the way home from the volleyball game, we didn't speak at all, but she did call the police and she was like, hi, I need you to come to our house and see and identify what these drugs that are in my daughter's room are. So they came and they told my mom, this is methamphetamine, this is Adderall, this is da 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 da. And my mom sent me to the hospital. She sent me to the Henderson Hospital that night. And that was the night, and that pen that we found in the mall bathroom was fentanyl. I did not overdose. It was just a really, really strong high. Like a high that I don't think I would have ever experienced again. So I went to the Henderson Hospital. I was admitted there for 3 days on 72-hour watch. And then I went to Southern Hills for long term. This was last year. So last year on September 24th, I got admitted to Henderson Hospital. They made me do drug tests. They told my mom all the drugs that were found in my system. They wouldn't let me go to the bathroom by myself. They wouldn't let me walk around because my mom had told them that I had been a runaway before, and she thought that I would run away again. And then they finally had a bed open at Southern Hills, and I got admitted there for about like maybe 4 weeks, maybe I don't know, but I don't know. That's a big difference. So I honestly don't remember because I was still detoxing, but it was like a really hard time in the hospital detoxing. Like I remember seeing shadow people like in the corner of the hospital room, and I would cry. And then I told my mom on visiting day to bring one of her sweatshirts so I can keep it with me, because I was really sad and I missed her. And it was just like a horrible feeling. And my mom had took my phone and she went through it and she found everything. She found all the drugs that I sell. She saw all the videos of me doing drugs. She saw the people that I would text and meet up with and get drugs. She would see anything that was inappropriate on my phone. So I was kind of pissed off. And then my uncle came to town and my aunt that lives here, they had visited me at the hospital and they were like, and I remember my aunt saying, things are going to be different from now on. And I just felt like this thing come in me, and I was like, do things really have to be different? Like, I love my life right now. It's horrible, but like, I didn't realize it then. I loved how I lived. And then when I got out of the hospital, my mom was really mad at me because I texted some friends when me and my mom would get in fights, because we would get into physical fights. But it was mainly like me beating up on her because I was on drugs and my brain was only focused on getting the next fix. So it was like, if you get in my way, I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to tear you down. I'm going to say really mean things to you. And that's what I did. So she was just kind of going through it. And then she had been calling around for a couple of days because she didn't want me going back to my home school, because that was like where everything bad had happened to me. That's where it happened. And then she found a school called Mission. And she had called there. She had set up an intake for me. And I think I had an intake on October 7th there, and of last year. And I was so mad that I had to go to that school. Like, we have a counselor there, and I would turn the chair and I would not look towards her at all. She would ask me a question, I'd just ignore her. And then I talked to Landon, because Miss Renee was not there at the time, so Landon had to do my intake, and I talked to him. He was like, what drug did you do? So I totally lied on what drugs I did. I was like, yeah, I smoked a little weed. Yeah, I did like Molly twice. And I thought, if I don't tell my full story, then maybe they won't accept me, and maybe I'll get a chance as to going back to my old school. And that did not happen. And I remember Landon telling me, just give it a try. If you don't like it, you don't have to go here. It's your choice. And so I gave it a try. And at first it was kind of hard. Like, I was kind of a loner because I was really mad at everybody. And then I started talking to one of the counselors more, and we started seeing each other in the morning, and she would give me a hug, and we'd talk about what's going on. And in that point, like, it was still really bad. Like, even though I wasn't on drugs, me and my mom were still getting in fights constantly. I was totally beating up on her still. I'd kick her door down, call the police on me, call the police on her. It was still pretty bad. But that's because I hadn't been working that program. And that's because my mind was still thinking that I could get my own way. And then, after I think 4 months, I was fine. I started doing the program, started going to meetings, I got a sponsor, started working the steps. And, over this summer, I didn't really talk to my sponsor, and I kind of felt myself pulling back to those old behaviors and stuff. And even with friends and family and other relationships, I felt myself becoming kind of a toxic person to be around. But it wasn't as bad as it was, because my aunt, when I went to New York over the summer, she was like, you're really nice to be around now. You're calm. You don't have this negative aura about you. And it was really good to hear. And then, a couple of my family members would just be like, Allana, you have this glow to you now. You don't look sad. You don't look, unhealthy. And it was just good to hear, because I had never felt accepted by my family because I was different. None of my cousins were adopted or anything, so I just always felt I was unwanted. And it was just good to hear that from them. And then, yeah, back in school, still trying to work the program, still trying to find a new sponsor. Mom and I are doing way better now. she trusts me a lot more, and that's something that is very valuable to me, is not breaking that trust, because it took a long time to build it back up. And I feel like I'm a lot more fun to be around now because I'm not on drugs and I'm not always negative, and I don't always want to beat the person next to me up. And I just try, like, I'm not gonna bullshit everyone and say, like, oh yeah, I'm always positive, because I'm not. Like, I have my days. But, like, I try to be positive when I see people. Like, in the morning, I go up to Miss Tamika, which is a counselor at school. I give her a hug. I talk to her for a little bit. Like, I just do little things. Like, our science teacher, I just brought him a plant for him so he can have one in his classroom. Like, I just try to do little things. Like, I try talking to people. One of the girls at my school, like, last week was having a bad day or whatever, and I saw her in the bathroom. We talked for like 15 minutes straight, and then our principal came in there. She's like, what are you guys doing? Because we weren't in class, and I was like, oh, I was just talking to her. We were literally just having a conversation for like 15 minutes. And I try to give, like, newcomers advice. Like, I know it's shitty at first. You obviously don't want to be here. You want to be out partying, drinking, doing drugs, whatever. You want to be out doing what you want to do. But you have to change your people, places, and things if you want to get better. And it's gonna have to be what you want, not what your parents want, not what your siblings want, not what your friends want. It has to be what you want. And that's something that took me a little while to learn. I always thought, like, I'm doing this for my mom. I mean, I am doing it for my mom, but I'm mainly doing it for me so that I don't become unhealthy again. And yeah, that's really it. I mean, my year is next month, so I've come, like, a really long way, I feel like, compared to where I was at last year. I feel like that's a big deal. I can see that difference. But yeah, that's it.
Alright, well, we're gonna eat the first snack.
Okay.
Alright, so we got some Lay's from a different country. They're a spicy crawfish flavor. So we're gonna try this.
These are Chinese. Or, like, some type of Asian.
Smell this. It doesn't smell that bad.
It
Damn.
smells like fish. I hate fish. It smells like a fish restaurant. Like Red Lobster. Ew. Okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Tastes like weird crab.
It just tastes like barbecue.
Tastes like crab.
I mean, it's okay, I guess. Ew, that fish aftertaste, though, is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what crab tastes like? I've never had crab.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like I'm gonna try crab. It's not that bad.
You like it?
Oh, I wouldn't buy it.
No, I wouldn't either. I don't know.
260 milligrams of sodium. That's a lot of sodium. 260 milligrams. Can't believe you like those.
I mean, I eat a lot of, like, fish things.
I wonder if my fingers smell. Ew.
I mean, honestly, I think. They're not even spicy. They have, like, a barbecue taste of spice. And then it tastes like crab.
Like, I thought it was lobster.
Yeah, I thought it was lobster.
Lobster and crayfish are, like, the same thing.
No, not. You know what kind of crawfish are compared to a lobster?
Well, why do they make it look so big? Crawfish are, like, that big, right?
No, they're probably, like, this big. With their tail out, probably, like, this long. And, like, this wide. Maybe. I like crawfish. They're cool.
Mr. Puddle's gonna get some.
They don't taste like crawfish, though.
I've never had crawfish.
Crawfish is the shit. I love crawfish.
I don't like it.
What would you rate these out of 10?
6.5.
I rate them like a 5.
I give it 5 too. Well, yeah, I'm gonna say like a 6 because they're honestly not that bad. It's just like the aftertaste.
Right.
It just tastes like fish. It's just.
Yeah.
Anyways, kind of gross.
So, what is your favorite activity that you do at APG?
Well, it's not really an activity, but I just like after school coming here, and some days we get to go to the corner store and get food. But if I did pick an activity, it would be going to the pinball museum.
Pinball Hall of Fame?
Yeah, the Hall of Fame. Because it's just like really fun. Like you kind of get to go do your own little thing. And they have cats there too. Like little cats that sleep behind the games.
Did you go the first time we went?
Yeah.
But, oh, shit. Did you go the second time?
Mm-hmm.
No. What's your favorite Tin High event that you've attended? Did you go to like Black Monday or
Black
anything?
Monday.
No?
Yeah, Black Monday.
Why do you like Black Monday so much?
I like the speaker. I forgot his name.
Brandon Novak.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't know, I just liked his story. Like I was still, I think, what is that, February? I think I was like 4 months? No, 6 months. At least. Yeah, 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was 6 months. But I was not working my program. But I was just like, I could relate to his story a lot. And like he kind of shows me an example of how to overcome addiction.
No. Okay. How did you find Mission High School?
I don't even know. My mom found it. I think she found it through a social worker. She was calling around a bunch of schools because she didn't like my social worker at my old school, so she just called social workers and they said, "Oh, Mission High School," and then mom looked it up right away and then she scheduled an intake for me. But yeah.
Alright, well, let's get into the next snack. Alright, so this is, read that. What does it say?
It's Gina Tong Mongo.
What she said.
I think.
So we're gonna try this.
His face. Ew, bye. This is hella nasty. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh, hell no. I think you cooked it wrong.
Probably.
Guys, that was hella nasty. Want me to dump it? Ew. Ain't no way. He's so dramatic, guys. Look at him washing out his mouth. Dramatic. Ooh, look at that booty. Ooh, look at that booty. Hey. Ew, that's hella nasty. You know you're gonna have to throw that out and it's gonna be all sloshy on the bottom. Ooh.
I'm gonna let it sit.
Until it hardens up.
Alright, so a few months.
Alright.
Alright, so that shit was nasty.
That stuff. It's hella gross.
That shit was nasty.
Nathan.
So, how has... What... Fuck. I don't know how to word this, but I do. What is your favorite part about being in recovery?
Being able to actually experience things and remember them. I guess, like, being able to find other fun stuff to do without doing drugs or drinking.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of APG?
The staff. Because it's not like a high school where you have teachers that like set rules and like, I mean, we obviously have rules, but like it's not like very like strict. It's not like we can like kind of be friends, I guess. Like it's like more like a family, because I feel like the school, I feel like it's a little different than coming to APG, because like you're like welcomed here instantly, and I feel like that's cool. It takes a while, but yeah.
All right. What? I don't know. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
No. Nothing you want to know?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna get into the last snack.
Oh my god! What the fuck is that?
It's an egg.
No, I'm not eating it, Giuseppe.
Just take a bite.
Why does this smell like fish? But wait, actually though, what kind of fish is that?
It's not fish. It's an egg. It's a goose egg.
Oh hell no, you're funny.
Just take a bite. Just take a little bite.
It smells like my dog's breath.
Word.
You bye.
Word.
Guys, I'm scared.
You're right.
Fuck. Oh my god, there's like gold flakes in it. Oh wait, no, what the fuck? What the hell is that?
It's what we show. It's fine. Are you ready?
Looks like diarrhea.
I know. 3, 2, 1, go.
Nope.
You enjoy it?
I took a little tiny itty bitty bite. Ew, it's on your lip. You lick it, lick it.
Oh.
Look at it. Guys, wait, I'm gonna try it. No, I can't. It literally smells like Shadow's breath. I fucking can't. It literally smells like Shadow's breath. Holy fuck. Fuck, I can't do it. I'll fucking throw up. Ew, it stinks.
Uh-huh. Alright, so that was the goose egg. Do you have anything you want to tell the audience before we go?
Don't ever eat goose egg.
Alright, so yeah, this has been the APG podcast. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, bye.